Hello everybody and welcome to another third-party toy review. Today I'm very lucky to be taking a very early look at the amazing new offering from Unique Toys. It is of course Troll, their version of Blot from the Terracons, a limb of Abominus. Really excited by this guy. To be honest with you, I wasn't expecting him, but over the moon nonetheless. First impressions of getting this guy out of the box. I didn't know much about Troll on the run up to getting him. I honestly thought, God's honest truth, that this was something by Fans Project, because the plastic quality is extremely thick. The joints are ridiculously tight, and the overall aesthetics and quality is next to none. I mean, you know I love Salmore, and I've got, we had Mania King, and this knocks the socks off anything Unique Toys have offered us. Prizes to Most Improved Toy Company of the Year definitely go to Unique Toys. It's incredible. There's no other way of putting it. Don't forget, this is a test shot, but wow, what a test shot. Don't get me wrong, it's not without its faults. Unique Toys seem to have a little habit of overflowing these seams, kind of where these bits are joined. There's a slight marking on here. You've got a very slight mark on, I think it was somewhere else on the back of the leg here, just there. But wow, I mean, just look at that face sculpt. There is so much expression in there. That is incredible. They've obviously got a new designer. I'm not sure if these are done by DX9. If they are, well done, chap. You've done a sterling job. Fantastic. Really good sculpt. Let's just give you a nice 360 of this big bad boy. Just taking a look all the way around him. Now, really love the aesthetics. Love the kind of the length of the legs compared to the bulky upper torso. Few nitpicks. We have the open cavities on the back of the legs there. No real way to avoid that. The transformation of this guy is extremely fun, and every space that we see is used. So there's a reason they have the open legs. To be honest with you, I'm probably going to have this guy combined as in Abominus mode. Although this is a leg. We get the foot plate and the other section here just obviously blatantly forms a foot. I always thought that he was an arm. Don't quote me on it. I know a lot of them were, of the gestalts were kind of arms and legs and could be used vice versa. But I always thought that he was an arm. I'm not going to not buy this because he's a leg. I mean, I've seen what he looks like. I've seen him in his beast mode. I've transformed him. I've played with him. I've thrown him against the wall. Yes, I actually threw him against the wall because somebody said, "Can you throw him against the wall? See how tough he is?" Yes. And he bounces. It's going to be displayed in Abominus mode, but this is such a beautiful mode. Really beautiful. Size comparison of this guy, he is a really big guy. He stands millimeters shorter than Springer, and Springer's a good Voyager size figure, so he is going to be possibly the most accurate scaled classics, would you think? I mean, he is pretty much identical in height to the Warbotron people line. Which I'm not sure, do these have a close relationship with Warbotron? Because it has a square peg for the combining port, which looks very similar to the Warbotron. Unfortunately, guys, I haven't been able to get any of the Feral Rex or any of the Warbotrons to compare. I tried to get them, but hopefully somebody like PR or Vangelis, whoever's going to get one of these samples, hopefully they can give us a scale, because I've seen pictures and he looks so good next to the Warbotron lot, and I can't express to you how good the plastic quality is. I mean, you know me, I like my KFCs, my crossover gens, but this, I hate to say, this knocks the socks off everything. The only thing I have comparable to this is Ordin from Perfect Effects, and Assaulter from Fans Project. I mean, they is that kind of quality. Well done, guys. Well done. Just weigh the bad boy, shall we? Thank you, Weight Watchers. Let's put him on the scales. He is coming in at 196 grams. Sorry, guys, I don't know what that is in pounds and ounces. Let's just put him on there with his backpack section on as well. And with the backpack section attached, 252 grams. And let's bring in a similar third-party figure. Bring in Fans Project's Roadbuster. I can bring in Assaulter, but obviously he's going to have 184 grams, so he is a little bit lighter. But the quality is so similar. I'll bring in Hasbro Springer for good measure. Hasbro, you cheapskates. Right, now let's take a closer look at this bot mode. The head, like I said, is absolutely amazing, great. Now, articulation-wise, got a little bit of downward motion, a little bit of upward motion, left and right. Would like a little bit of more range there, but I think it makes do. You can kind of push it back a little bit, but I believe it's pinned, so I don't want to be forcing it too much. Great range of movement on the shoulder. You can go all the way up as well, all the way down. You've got an upper bicep swivel, a double jointed elbow, a wrist swivel. So that's always a good thing. A lot of people are going to be miffed at this, but there's no waist swivel. That is because of the transformation. It's pinned through here, and rotates round. You get a fair range of movement with the upper torso, so you can still get him in some really good poses because you've got great range on the thighs. But that's going to be a point of interest for a lot of people. Great forward range and movement, great side range, no clearance issues at all the way to the back. You do have upper knee swivel and a really deep joint because it uses the transformation. And you do have foot pivot, although it's pretty much artificial forward and down because the whole base rests on these sections here. This is basically just cosmetic on the front, but when you bend the knee, you can get some really striking poses, and I can kind of forgive the lack of waist swivel because he does have a very good rotation. Oh, he just looks so good, doesn't he? Really, really impressed. Of course, we also got this foot section, which can pull apart. They're pegged in really tightly. Come on, where are you pegged in? There and there. Just nice deep holes. Do the same here. What I like to do, you've got the holes at the top or you've got the holes here. I like to flip these gun sections around. They just tab into themselves. Do the same with this side. Flip that around, tab that in. And I like to have them kind of displayed on the forearms. You can have them at the top. You can have them wherever you want, really. There's not even any need to have them at all. I just like that everything's kind of got a space. Flip this section around to the side. And then you can flip this open to reveal a telephone. It does look like a telephone, doesn't it? I was talking about it on the TFW forum, and yeah, it really does look like a telephone. Flip the peg out, and you've got these slots on the side here. You want to kind of push it in and then rotate it because it does have a tendency to fold back on itself. So I like to get my thumb just behind it, squeeze it in. Then you can rotate it round. You've got like the shoulder cannon there. There's various other options of places you can put it. I had it, where did I have it yesterday? I think I had it on the actual back there. It's got various options. But it does look like a telephone. Now that I've seen that it's a telephone, that's all I'm going to be able to see. So there we have the bot mode. Very impressed. Ticks a lot of the good boxes for me. Lots of stuff is hidden. There's the gaps in the back of the thighs, the back of the calves, and I'm going to forgive that. And the lack of range on the head and the lack of waist swivel, again, I can forgive just because of the sheer fact that this guy's got so much articulation and so much going for him cosmetically. And of course, to my recollection, the Terracons spent a majority of their time in their beast mode throughout the cartoon, so let's take these off and let's enjoy transforming this guy. It is a fun transformation. It's not the easiest because I haven't got any instructions, but that's what you get when you get a sample. Right, first things first, people. When you fold the hands back, make sure they are in the open fist position. Don't have them so the hands are in this way. Have them stay either like this, because the joint for the hands is super, super stiff. And once it's in here, I had a real job trying to pull this peg and get it out. But I found once the fist is like this, you can plug your gun into the underside of the hand and then work the hand out. It just works a lot easier than trying to flip it when you haven't got any nails. So first things first, let's fold these fists in like so. Next step, you want to sort out the head. You want to lift the jawline up here. That lifts the terracon kind of head up. You can then fold it down again, and that just reveals the front section. Rotate the head round and pop his head back like so. You can then fold the kind of terracon head back over, making sure that these sections are nice and clear at the back. You want to come round to the waist section, and the waist unplugs. It's plugged in just on the underside there, this black section here. So you want to apply moderate force and just pull the crotch plate. That then pulls all this section forward. You can then fold these blue tabs at the side here, fold those in. He says like so. Did the same with this side, fold it in. You then want to come round and pull this crotch section forward. At this point, I like to transform the feet. So you grab this section, turn it around, flip that back on itself, it just sits there. You can then unplug the foot section like so, it's just attached there. And this whole section here rotates out, it's on a pivot. Once it's rotated out, you can bring it inwards. Now it is a pin here, so as opposed to causing any stress on this plastic, I don't think it's going to break. I mean, it's very, very solid, but I just apply pressure directly behind the pin and then push it down like so. Just pull and extend this leg section. It's on a nice little ratchet joint. Then, I love this bit, turn the toes and both sides turn. I love that, I really, really do. Rotate the waist section around like so. So this section here is now facing forward. This is the fun piece. You want to rotate the thighs round so the upper slit section is facing upwards. So you've got the shiny silver section facing out. You then want to come around to the knees and pull this entire knee section down like so. And then fold his little chicken legs down. And you've kind of got him in this abstract kind of weird stance. Leaving the legs as they are, we can come around to the shoulders, apply pressure on kind of on the purple section, and just pull that out. That's just tabbed in here. Just get that freed up for the moment. And then you could slide this arm section out, and it's kind of on this hinge here, which rotates on itself, allowing you to bring this section forward. Let's do the same on this side just to show you again. Applying pressure just here, pull that section out. That basically frees up this entire section here. Extend that out and it rotates on its own pivot there and gives you the shoulders. Come round to the open section on the arms. You pop this section up and you want to grab the joint of the elbow and rotate it right around so it forms kind of this square section. Flatten it on the internal hinge, and then just want to rotate, and this section here locates in that gap there. It won't go in unless these are perfectly square, so just make sure you're using all of that double elbow. Slide that in, push that in, and then basically this tab here comes in, and that tabs in on the top there, and that just pushes in and lines up. You can then open up these claw-like hands, bum 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 bum, and rotate it accordingly. Grab this waist section and pull it back so his legs are kind of backwards. I like to keep the arms up and out of the way just for this transformation, and then you can slide down this section here. That slides right down. Make sure the legs, this is the top, make sure the legs screws upwards, like so. and this is kind of fun. It's the leg here collapses on itself whilst rotating up like this to form the backpack, and as you're doing that, this leg here, this little black section here, fits in nicely in this gap here. So we'll slide that in. There's no clearance issues, that all goes in, and there's a black tab just on the back of the leg that can plug in just on there, and that locates, securing everything in place. Let's do the same with this leg. Slide that up, make sure these shoulders are out the way, like so. Slide it up, pull this section forwards, and that's going to fit in this gap here. It's going to slide through the gap. Once you get the legs lined up, there is no clearance issues. There we go, that's in, and then just tab this bad boy into place. There we go, that's tucked in really nicely underneath there. Everything's plush, everything's hidden. If you come around to the top, you can now line the shoulders up to make sure they're pushed down fully, and they will then move these out of the way. Peg into the back, securing that backpack section into place. Roll the shoulders forward, and ta-da! And here is Troll, or Blot, whatever you want to call him, in his beast mode. I think that's probably what we'd call it. I've just popped these sections together again to form the foot. Obviously, I've seen the pictures that have been released, and obviously not having the instruction, I'm not entirely sure what to do with this whilst we've got it in kind of beast mode. So what I've been doing, I've been storing it on his back. The pegs that flip up to plug into his arm, you could just peg those back on. The hole fits nicely, and you can just have it on his back, or you can have it higher up using the alternative peg like that, and you can kind of have it over his shoulder, or I can have that stored on his back like so, facing inwards, and I could take these two sections off and I could place those on the arms like guns, but for now I'm just going to take it off, and let's give you a nice 360 of this beautiful beast mode. Taking a look all the way around him, I really loved how everything folded in there, and it kind of tucked in. It's really tidy, it's really nice. Don't get me wrong, it's not without its flaws though. Everything's held together really well, everything's firm, everything's solid, but I just don't like the connector port at the top. It's clearly visible. I would have liked possibly a flap or something that just flips over to hide that port. It's a nitpick, to be honest. I don't like having visible ports. I know that's difficult when we have combiners, but it's just a little gripe for me. I love how he looks though. The colours are so stunning on this. Really great nod to the G1 toy, and yeah, this truly is a fantastic beast mode. Oh, he looks awesome. Let's check out the beast mode a little bit closer. That's a really nice head sculpt. Fantastic, really nice there. The head doesn't really have any movement. You've got an up and down motion there. You can rock this section, but obviously the regular bot head is visible under that chin. The shoulders have got a nice forward and back motion. They do go up and they do go down, although when they go back they are somewhat hindered by the backpack. You've got this really nice deep forward and back motion, so you get almost like a gorilla pose to this. The claws themselves are on those individual balls. They do go fairly flat, and of course that itself is on a rotation, so you can have those facing slightly outwards. I love everything tucked into the arms. You do see the inner workings of the bicep in there, but I think that's hidden pretty well, and I can kind of forgive that. It does look good. Love the crotch flap, but again we do have a small kind of clear gap here. Would like maybe a paint application, or possibly maybe that's a room there for some repro labels. That'd be nice. Lifting the arm up just so we can get a good look at the leg workings. You've got a nice forward and back motion. Again, it's on a nice tight ball there, and you've got kind of a chicken leg thing going on here. So the leg does rock back on a ratchet, and it does rock forward. We've got hinged up and down. I'd love how they actually turn in and out, and it rotates the heel section, so it's all on one. Now, if you look under here, where we pegged these sections into the crotch plate, if you pop that up slightly and just unpeg those, you do get a little bit more movement kind of left and right on those thighs. Not that you really need it though, because you do get a really nice range with those balls on the inner thigh. Just bring in Springer again, just to give you guys an idea of size comparison. He really does compress down really nicely. That's a good beast mode. This is going to look so good. I'd really like to get some of the, maybe the Fans Project kind of headmasters or something, if they do like Snapdragon or something like that, because those guys are going to look so good with this. Once again, I am really, really impressed with the joints and the plastic quality and the paint applications. Bearing in mind, this is still, in essence, a test shot. You know, it's not been released yet. I don't know if this is the final product. Your guess is as good as mine, but another little gripe. I'm not sure what we're meant to be doing with this section here. They look like, obviously, the tabs we used elsewhere when we'd had the legs, but I'm not entirely sure. It feels like it's something that should go across the top here. Maybe I can get that plate to go across there. I'm not entirely sure, but it just looks like there should be something there. Obviously, we'll tackle that bridge when we get to it. Now, being a combiner, he does, of course, form a limb. So we're going to transform him. I've removed the weapons of him, and I'm going to transform him into leg mode. It's fairly straightforward. I'm going to just pop these sections off the back here. Wiggle those free. Come round and unplug them from the underside of the base plate. And basically, just moving the shoulders forward, I'm just going to unravel the legs. So we're going to pull those out from underneath. Both sides, pull that down like so. Just get those out of the way for now. Transform these legs as if we're going back into bot mode. So you want to fold this section forward. Remember to apply pressure where the pin is. You want to rotate this section all the way back so it slides back into its own joint. Rotate the foot round, swivel that back up, and then locate the pin which goes in there like so. You want to bring the leg around so it's facing forwards, and then slide it up on itself, so just so it clears that section there. Again, do the same with this side, slide it back on itself, and this can now actually come in and tab facing that way. As you can see, we're already starting to make progress here. See, these peg in together, slide the kneecaps up, fold the crotch plate down. You can then fold the head down as well, and slide that in so it's plush. Come in behind the crotch plate, there's a kind of rectangular plug that plugs in there, holding everything in securely. Keeping the arms in beast mode, you want to rotate it round, swivel it back round again, bring this section down, and you want to rotate it all the way round. Let's go this way, it'll be quicker. So this whole section is on the outside, and you've got these sections here. There's a peg here and a peg here. They can now peg into each other like so, and that slots in on the back there so it's nice and plush. Last but not least, just pry open these sections again, and there's a small tab just inside the inner workings of those circular joints. You then get the foot tab, slide that all the way into one side. He says, trying to do it all so we can see it on camera. In you go. As soon as you get one side in, it's easy to get the other side in, and then you can just push both sections together. There we go, and we are in, and we have a leg. This is incredibly heavy, and it's stupidly well balanced. So yeah, this is the leg mode. It's really tidy. There's no forward and back motion on the foot itself. I imagine we're going to get that when we have the knee connectors, so the whole section moves forward. This is going to be massive, absolutely massive. But yeah, that's balanced on its own. Yeah, that is just stability. Really loving that. Really good. It looks tidy. It looks quite streamlined. The back is not hideous. It's nothing kind of untoward or revealing. And there's that socket again. See what I mean? That is very, very, very Warbotron-like, isn't it? Oh, I'd love to see if they all combine. That'd be epic. Really, really epic. So yeah, that is the foot. The quick size comparison. I'm just going to bring in Springer. Just to give you an idea, this is going to be absolutely humongous. Thanks again for the guys at Unique Toys for sending this out to me. They asked my honest opinion. I have given it. Sterling job, guys. You please keep this up. I can't believe you guys done Warlord. I really can't. This is a league onto its own. Can't wait for Ordin to be fully released. I haven't seen any teasers of the other sections. I can't wait to buy this actually at retail and get instructions and the teasers on the box. Honestly, can't wait. Order it, guys. Make sure you order it. I'm genuinely surprised, shocked, and in awe at the quality of this product. So there we go. This is Troll, which is 001 of the Ordin line by Unique Toys. Thanks for watching. Until next time, goodbye.